Here's a game where we're not going to see any pace and tempo. Brett Bielema versus Matt Rule, and run-heavy offenses, both sides. Illinois and Nebraska, 9-point home favorites. Nebraska, 43.5 the total. Great Big Ten matchup as part of the new Friday night college football television package that Fox now has. They started it last week with Arizona and Kansas State, and now they got this one here on Friday night in Lincoln. I shouldn't say Nebraska's a total run-heavy team. They'll throw the ball because they've got a quarterback that can actually throw the ball pretty well right now. And Dylan Raiola, the freshman. Illinois is still definitely a run-first offense. There's no question. They don't want Luke Altmaier throwing the ball 30, 40 times a game. Nebraska, look, I've been hesitant to say they're back. I've been hesitant to say that they're ready for upper echelon Big Ten territory. But they've looked the part so far. Destroy UTEP at home, crush Colorado in that big Saturday night game a couple weeks ago, absolutely hammered Northern Iowa 34-3. Now, it was a bottom feeder UTEP team in the FBS, an FCS team, and Colorado was clearly a little bit overvalued and overrated. So this is going to be a little bit more challenging here. Illinois, who we already have seen them start 3-0, including a nice home win against Kansas, but haven't been on the road yet. And this will be a loud, raucous, fervish, that's the word, environment in Lincoln on Friday night, on a national TV game as well. So I'm not ready to trust Luke Altmaier on the road against this defense, C-Mac, flat out. Okay, I know, credit to him, and they got the win against Kansas at home, but Kansas defense ain't Nebraska's. We just saw Kansas lose at home as almost double-digit home favorites against UNLV on Friday night. This is a very good Nebraska defense. The way they shut down Shedeur in Colorado, I was very impressed. Say what you want about how the O-line for Colorado is still an issue, but that Nebraska defense looks like they're no joke. And they were pretty solid last year, too. Kept them in a lot of games. They're even better, and now they got some offense to go with it this year for Nebraska. So been impressed. I'm not stepping in front of Nebraska. I would lay it or pass in this game. You've got Raiola playing well. You've got obviously pretty good running backs too, in Dowdle and Johnson for this team as well. And then, of course, you've got Jalen Lloyd, Carter Nelson leading them at the receiver position. There's a lot of weapons. The O-line's much better. They're not turning the ball over, which has been an issue in the past for Nebraska. Illinois first road game. And here's the problem. If Illinois falls behind by 2 touchdowns or more in this game, do they have the offense? Is Luke Altmaier good enough on the road in this environment, Lincoln on a Friday night against this defense on the road to lead them back? I'm not so sure he is. So I'm leaning Nebraska. I think the total 43. I kind of lean under, but man, 43.5 is pretty low. But I would still think under would be what I prefer for the total here on this Friday night Big Ten clash. C-Mac, what do you think here? Illinois, Nebraska.
Yeah, this is one like on a total. I kind of wait. I don't think like it's really going to move. I don't know if it drops too much lower, even though I think this is a defensive game. I think it kind of stays around here. I doubt we go down to like 41, but maybe. The defenses have looked pretty good. Both these teams have cashed for you if you've backed them, depending on last week. Some people like pushed with that game against Central where they won 39. It was just kind of like a workman type game, and the defense looked good. They gave up some yards to Central where I think they could dominate, but they couldn't do anything. They couldn't score a touchdown. It was 3 field goals. It was just kind of we're at home, bend but not break for them. Altmaier was good. Again, this is I have the problem though. Excellent. I mean, 242, 2 touchdowns, but this will be on the road. Where I worry about him, where I see some of the ghosts of the past. Yeah, Nebraska, I just have to, you hit on it because I remember talking about before the year, I thought the Nebraska defense was excellent, and they're daring me. They keep winning these games. Wow, maybe they can win 10 games this year. Riles looked really good, even though he's just God, he does this. I saw a video. He's just like the same movements as Patrick Mahomes. I'm sorry, I have to bring it up. Like his pregame stuff, the shades, the hair.
It's a poor man's Patrick Mahomes right now. Yeah,
his throwing motion. It was pretty wild. The little video clip that I saw was like 2 minutes about it. But he's looked really good. And now he's another home game. He hasn't had to go on the road. You've talked about the competition hasn't been great.
No.
for Nebraska. They've had to stay at home. This one will be a little bit bigger. I still can't lay it though with Nebraska. I get it. I want nothing really on this one. I can't take Illinois on the road with Altmaier, even though I'm itching a little bit to it. I don't think I don't know if 8.5 is really enough for touchdown. It could be. Man, I was hoping this was a little bit over 10. Pull the trigger.
He so far he's actually hasn't turned it over yet. Altmaier, I'll give him credit.
No,
but gosh, man, every home game, and Kansas is the toughest team you've played, and their defense doesn't even compare to Nebraska. And now you got to go on the road, and I've just seen too much crap from him on the road, like last year in terms of performance at the quarterback spot. And now you're on the road against I've got to see it before I believe it from Altmaier. By the way, the last 2 meetings, both games ended in the 30s. Didn't even come close to going over the total. Now, I know Nebraska offense was pathetic the last 2 years, but still, actually 27 points last year, 20-7 win for Nebraska in Illinois. And then the year before it was 26-9 Illinois in Nebraska. So we'll see how this one goes. Like I said, if Nebraska last year beat Illinois by 13 in Champaign, I think they're capable of winning by 10 here, at least at home. So like I said, I lean to the favorite here with Nebraska.